Good evening, my name is Garrett and welcome to The Last Call. Tonight's final drink is from Penelope. This is their straight bourbon whiskey finished in rosé wine casks, coming in at a 47% ABV, no official age statement on the bottle. So, I've been on the hunt for all sorts of Penelope bottles. More recently, they finally started showing up here in Indiana in 2023, and I've just fallen in love with the brand. So, Penelope does source from MGP, we know that much. And actually, if you go to their website, there's a lot more information about this bottle than what's actually on the bottle. So, this is actually a 4-grain bourbon comprising of 76% corn, 14% wheat, 7% rye, and 3% malted barley. They've also, the age and the char that they've used on this one is listed at 4 to 5 years old with number 4 staves and number 2 heads. On top of that, we know this is actually a blend of 3 different bourbon mash bills, and then they finished them in French Grenache rosé casks. So quite a process, non-chill filtered, all that kind of good stuff. But it seems to be, again, fairly polarizing bottle if you look this up online. So I'm interested to see how this one holds up. So I had to order it and bring it into Indiana. But nonetheless, let's jump into things. As always, we're going to be trying it 2 different ways. First way, neat, no ice, no water. Second way, we'll add just a drop of water, see if anything changes up. And as always, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that kind of good stuff. If you're interested in some other Penelope reviews, depending on when they post, they'll be linked up above and down below, so you can enjoy those. Interesting enough on this one is that they actually went glass cork. All the others, they've gone with their standard wood cork, so I don't know what the idea was on that. I love glass tops. If I can get a good grip on it, maybe. There we go. You have to kind of tilt that. There. There we go. Alrighty. Now, I've had things finish in Grenache barrels before. High West. And I love that. That was my first time having a High West finished product. Beautifully done. And again, I tend to like wine cask. I've had some good experiences. I've had a couple mediocre ones too. But a beautiful kind of light brown, almost a toasted, kind of like a toasted charry chocolate. All right, let's go for notes. Ooh, beautiful nose, very wine-like. More recently, actually, the wife and I have started getting into more wine because we wanted to start trying to pin down more notes on things. Very sweet and a little herbal going on in here, a little medicinal, which tends to come from the MGP rye mash bills. The wine cask on this one has impacted it fairly well. It is not only a little sweet, but almost like over-ripened fruit. Just very floral and fresh. Like if you walked into an organic store and not only did you walk by the flowers, but then they have like a big old tray of different fruits freshly cut. So very sweet, but very wine-like on there. Don't get much of the corn, if at all. Surprising with that high of a mash bill on corn, but very much wine influenced on the nose. That creamy, fruity, and that little bit of herbalness that's coming from that rye is beautifully done. All right, let's go for a taste. That is very softly sweet. Now, rosés tend to not to have like, it's not like a Cabernet or something like super dark and heavy on that. But the sweetness in here is subtle and soft. Very much almost like strawberries. Beautiful light grain in there. The corn sweetness is coming through a little bit. The rye spice is there, and that's very nice. A little bit of orange in there as well, which you can kind of find sometimes in your mash bills coming from MGP. Their bourbons tend to have a little bit more orange forward for me. But that strawberry note in there, beautiful. And you do get a bit of the floral on the taste too. Honeysuckle. My brain instantly found that and went honeysuckle. So it's that floral note that honeysuckle can bring in. Oh, not quite sugary sweet, but wine sweet. So it's very forward in those notes. This is a good example of a wine cask finish. It's not demanding, because most of the time when we see wine cask, again, we see, Cabernet casks and Merlot, you know, dark, heavy things. And this is very light, but that strawberry that's coming through, if you're a wine drinker, this might be a good little crossover product for you to sip on. It's not going to be like a wine, but it gives you wine vibes. I love the orange in there as well. The spice layers, I'm loving that rye in there. It plays together really well with that rosé and just brings it this extra little lift it needs from that. That is darn good. Okay, let's add a little drop of water. See how things change up here. I don't even know what to expect. I'll be honest. I have no idea. Might go mute, might go simple. Just don't know. Just one little drop in here. All right. Let's go for notes on the water version. Actually, very similar. Maybe 10 or 20% lighter, but very similar. You still get a lot of the floral. You still get the strawberry going on in here as well. The grain is still showing up just a little bit. That spice from the rye is there. That is really nice as well. I'm shocked on how well that holds up because I've had wine casks either go very mute or almost go a little too sour for me. All right, let's go for a taste. Actually, it goes very soft, sweet, simple on the taste, but not in a bad way. You're still getting the strawberry, still getting that floral note in there. You're bringing across the rye spice a little more softly. Honestly, if you picked this up and it was maybe a little too brash for you because that wine cask is so unique, that little drop of water does make it a little bit more easygoing, not as impactful, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Still nice and simple and sweet, but not as forward as you may or may not like it. Oh yeah. Right away, just brings in so many more wine-like flavors over here. This just goes very simple and soft, but in a good way. As always, it doesn't matter what you drink or how you drink it, as long as you enjoy it. Both are really solid. I like the neat version best, but this ain't too bad either if you're new to whiskey. All right, let's talk about market price, because we all know market price is market price, and it's always going to vary. So I ended up paying about $65 for this, haven't shipped in. And to be honest, looking around online, that's about where it tends to be found, is about mid-60s. Some websites post this as high as $70, $75. Others go as low as like $57 to $60. This one is a little polarizing, and after tasting a few wine casks, coming to this one, I can understand why. If you're not big into wine cask finishing, it can be a little off, and it's not as potent of a bottle as something like a Cabernet again. But what Penelope did with this is really good. Solid proof, decent age statement. I do wish it was on the bottle. Being transparent on that mash bill, we love transparency. So mid-60s, I don't think this is a bad example. Your wine cask finishes specifically can pull a higher dollar price point on that one. I am curious how long it was finished in those rosé casks, but nonetheless, it's a really good sip. I'm impressed by how good that came across. Now, I wouldn't pay $75 plus for this bottle, but in the mid-60s or less, I think it's a really solid pour. So yeah, there you have it, folks. Penelope straight bourbon whiskey finished in rosé wine casks. If you have any questions about the bottle itself, let me know down in the comment section below. I will do my best to answer it. And if you have any specific spirit I should go looking for, also let me know down below. Love doing these reviews and sharing with you the experience at home. And as always, may your last drink of the night be the best one.
You know, and I really like it might